Today, welcome to my third installment of my journey into Di2 as I upgrade the new Giant TCR from stock standard into being my bike. In my first Di2 video, I used the battery charger as the PC link for programming and firmware updates for the Di2 system. In the second video, I installed the wireless module in the seat post so the Di2 system can talk over ANT+ and Bluetooth. And in today's video, I'm installing the SW-R600 remote satellite shifter. I've wanted one of these for a very long time on my bike, and today I finally got a bike to install it on and the unit itself. So let's go through the unboxing, the installation and programming of this so it does exactly what I want on my bike. Okay, let's have a look at what's inside the box as ordered from Shimano. These are around $119 Australian, so probably under $100 US. We have the manual, which we'll put aside. We have some cable ties, we have some rubber backing pads, and the shifter unit itself in a very, very big plastic bag. A little closer look at the unit itself. The buttons are quite large, and the unit is quite chunky for what it is. So, hand for scale, and tape measure for scale. All right, let's see how long this unit is, plus the cable. Okay, so the cable itself measures in at about 29 centimeters, just over 11 inches of cable that comes attached. And overall, the unit's around about 33 centimeters or around about 13 inches long, all up. So take that into consideration when measuring up your bike. Over to the scales, these weighing in at 19 grams. Not bad. Okay, where I'm going to install this on the bike is around about here. I should be able to reach that with my thumb. The angle is, we'll sort that out once it's all in play. That's where it's going, and the cable needs to go up in here somewhere. So where it goes on the bike, we pull off the hood of the lever, and you can see that's where it's currently plugged in for the shifter itself, and we have a spare Di2 port down here, where the plug just simply plugs in, and it should be as easy as plug and play. So off with the bar tape, carefully unwrapping that so I can rewrap it, and out with the plug. Now I have to get a little creative with the plug here because there's a lot sort of going on back here. It does get a bit ugly when you take the bar tape off. You can hide all of this away, and I will be doing that with Dr. Slane in a future video. Okay, where to route this optimally is the question. So we're going to go under here, around the other cables, and using the installation tool. Now the installation tool is not a real requirement, but you can see here what it does. It inserts the plug straight. So no bends or kinks in the cable itself when used right. Just have to give myself a little bit more room. Cable goes in the tool there, and it just pushes straight on and clicks in as easy as that. And we're done. That's installed. Just testing this out in the system. So turning the cranks, clicking up and down. You can see there on the back. By default, it changes gears, but it does change them in the other direction that I'd like. So that's what we're going to reprogram later on. As for getting all this mess tidied up, this did take probably about 15 to 20 minutes to try and sort out where I'm going to be using it for now. As I've mentioned, I'm going to do a whole rewire of this. We'll hide everything away, but for now I still wanted to make it look pretty neat. So a bit of problem solving here with some tape, tidying things up, tucking things out of the way. And I'm going to make a small loop. Given I'm using quite narrow bars, there was a bit of excess cable there, so I'm just going to loop up the cable underneath here. Now there's already a big loop under there anyway for the lever, so not a problem for just putting another loop under there, tucking it away and then wrapping the bar tape over top. And getting creative with some angled tape on here, just so there's no excess rub. Making things as neat as possible without going to the extreme, which we will do very soon. Next up is positioning, and the bars taper in at the 31.8mm section on the inside, so they're a little fatter at the layout, so it's on a slight angle. How I'm going to solve that one is to put a little bit of the backing tape on just one side and to build it up, and then I'll leave it off the other side. I'll just rip that cable tie nice and tight so it doesn't move anywhere. So just backing tape on one side. Again, just a full customization of the bike here. Di2, you can do anything you like with it. You can pull these switches apart and put them anywhere. So you don't really have to always go by the book. Well, the manual's actually pretty sparse. Okay, one cable tie on, two cable ties on. I'll speed this part up because this, again, took a while to thread through. Again, not a fan of having to use cable ties on a bike in 2019, but it did come out quite neat, I must say. So once everything was through, the cables were out of the road, it really wasn't too bad. Function over fashion, definitely. Now onto the snip, and that could go horribly wrong if you get the wrong cable. Luckily I chose the black. Oh, hang on, they're all black. All good. Job done, nice and neat and tucked away. So there we go, installed at the correct angle. It's time to get the bar tape back on. Now I'll skip you the nightmares that I had trying to wrap this back perfectly. It ended up going on okay though. And here we are, bar tape back on. We pull the hood back over the lever, and everything that was ugly is now neatly tucked away out of sight. All looking good. And the finishing tape that I managed to salvage because I took it off very carefully, we'll wrap that around just to give it that almost new look, even though it's not new anymore that I've done that to it. Quick spin on the bike, making sure it changes right, up and down in the back. Happy days, really was plug and play. Now over to the programming of the unit itself. Press and hold till the double lights flash, and loading up the eTube application on my phone. Now this does work because I do have the eWOC module installed there that you can see I connected to. We'll jump on. Fingers crossed we're on the latest firmware and we don't have to tempt fate and do the firmware update. So you can see here a full list of all the componentry. We have the battery, junction box, front and rear derailleurs, levers, wireless unit, and the SW-R600 there with, thankfully, the latest firmware. Nothing needed to be changed there. Over to the programming side of things, we just click on switch unit, and we can see there we have both levers and also the switch that we put on just now. Now X and Y, I want to invert those. So the left goes up the cassette and the rear goes down the cassette physically. How it's labeled on here is sort of different to the way I think. So again, the beauty of Di2, you can customize this. You can see there, just switch those functions around. We hit OK. Wait for it to program. Back to the menu. And closing the app to make sure it disconnects, and back to shift mode. And there we are. Okay, that goes up the cassette and that goes down the cassette to a harder gear. That's my terminology. That's how my brain works. It's all really good. All right, time to put this to the test. Ripping the shoes on, the end of the day here, out on the road, and with a total stitch up, I didn't actually ride any hills. So there we have it. It really was that easy. Plug and play and away I go. The hardest part was re-wrapping that bar tape so it looked okay. I will be rewiring the whole bike in the near future with the help of Dr. Stephen Lane. We'll be doing some really funky things to hide those cables away, but for now, it's about getting out there, riding the hills, and making life a little easier with the remote shifter. If you're looking at upgrading one of these to your Di2 system, check the eTube compatibility chart. I will also link below to that to make sure everything works. And it's happy days. All right, I'm out to ride. Enjoy your ride too. Thanks for watching.